podcast once again. So today we have Ms. Neelima with us. So generally, modern careers have taught us how to achieve. They have not always taught us how to stay whole while doing it. Many are succeeding outwardly, whereas feeling disconnected inwardly. So today we ask a very important question. What is that value of success if it costs your peace, well-being, or sense of self? So let's explore what that meaningful growth really looks like. Today with us joining is Neelima Sonkusale, a coach, trainer who works with professionals on growth, mindset, leadership development, and meaningful career transition. Her work helps individuals grow externally while staying grounded internally. Neelima, welcome to Connect2Roots.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell me one thing. So actually we have planned today's podcast probably broadly in the three categories. One is really how we redefine the success. Second is the topic we'll discuss a little bit on the burnout. And then third about the inner alignment. Probably that is something fundamental. Without that, we cannot.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah? So many people chase external success, however, still feel unfulfilled. So in your experience, why does career growth sometimes fail to create an inner satisfaction?
See, what I have seen, like I've been working with a lot of professionals, individuals, entrepreneurs and all. So what happens is when we say that we chase success, it's mainly they chase those visible success markers, which means like they chase those titles, the salary, the recognitions, right? And somewhere they tend to ignore the personal values. They tend to ignore the alignment. They forget about all these things, those titles, and that really matters. So what we need to remember is external growth is not always equal to the internal fulfillment, right? You may be growing, like you may be growing up the ladder, you'll become CEO, founder, whatsoever. But internal satisfaction is not there. And then that creates a gap where you feel that I have everything, but still there is something off. Like I'm not happy. Though I have those titles, I have that salary, I have that luxury, I have everything, but still I'm not happy. And why is that? Right? So what happens is many a times these growth fail because all these titles which we chase are driven by comparisons. Right? We tend to compare. And they're not by choice. I feel like instead of comparing ourselves with others, it's important for ourselves to compare with our own self. And that's when probably that inner satisfaction or inner fulfillment will come. Because we need to see our growth, not others' growth. But like even I had been into the industry, I have worked in the corporate, even I probably was somewhere part of this rat race. And somewhere I realized that I can't move, and that's the reason I moved out and went on to coaching. But yeah, when we are there in that society, we are there with those people, we tend to chase all these titles, but we need to realize that that comparison or will not drive you that satisfaction, will not drive you towards your inner inner fulfillment. And also many a times we prioritize our achievements, right? कि मैंने ये achieve कर लिया, I have achieved this. But what about the experience? What experience have you got? Like I have seen, like I work with students, I work with professionals, I have seen people who have reached the highest position at the ladder, but when it comes to their knowledge, when it comes to their experience, when it comes to making decisions, they are nowhere. So even if you are chasing those titles, even if you get those titles, are you internally aligned or internally fulfilled or internally happy? And somewhere your internal happiness reflects in your work. I strongly believe that. Right? So I always feel that fulfillment comes from feeling valued and feeling aligned. अगर आपका value ही नहीं है, if you're not valued, your work is not valued, your presence is not valued, your credibility is not valued, I don't think that success really matters. And at some point of the ladder, you definitely start feeling that misalignment. So I strongly feel that success feels empty when it is aligned, or rather, I would say success does not feel empty, when it is aligned with what you are really or what you really want to be. So for me, I believe that success should be equal to what matters to you, what you're aligned, what values are, what you want to achieve, rather than those positions. And I always say that if you are reaching a leadership title, or if you're looking towards moving up to a leadership position, you should not wait to get those titles. Right? You should not wait to become a manager. You should not wait to become a leader. You should show it in a behavior right from the moment you start thinking that I want to become a leader. And that behavior and those transitions or those changes will probably lead you towards that goal. And then when you get that success of becoming a leader, I think that is what will drive you towards your goal and drive you toward your inner fulfillment.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Comparison is something, how hidden it takes, where it takes is something blindfoldedly. And one more point I think here comes is, Neelima, that, fear of judgment. Like, what happens?
Absolutely.
Judgment is something which, unconsciously we have been deprived for. It keeps happening. So probably, I think self-awareness, as long as we are very strong in that fundamentally, probably that will help an individual for the success.
Yeah. And when you mention that fear of judgment, who are those people?
Yeah.
The people around us, right?
Yeah.
So now it's totally our choice. Do you really want to get affected? I won't say we don't. Obviously, we are human beings. Kahin na kahin we get affected, right? But again, I believe that it is your choice how much you want to get affected, how much it is going to really matter to you, right? And see, it's a human tendency. You will get affected. Or wo hona bhi chahiye. Probably if that really affects you, then again, that should become a trigger to your growth. Right, but in a positive way, not in a burnout way, or not in that again that rat race may follow. Okay, chase karna hai, you have to chase those titles, or you want to get to that position, or so on. Like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the most important point which people should also take here is that title is, let's not only chase the title, go behind what really values you. Probably the direction could be the self-awareness. The tool you can take it, and probably they can move towards that direction.
Right.
But still, and now this when we come about the burnout and setting the boundaries, real boundaries, these young professionals, even young professionals, adult too, they're feeling pressure to always be productive, available, and ahead of time. So how, coming to our next topic, that is burnout and boundaries. So, these young professionals today often feel pressure to always be productive, available, and ahead. How can ambition be pursued, without falling into burnout?
Guys, to all the professionals over here, always remember that ambitions without boundaries is equal to exhaustion. And I think everyone over here is facing that, because we want to please people. We want to show people that I am available. We want to show that, okay, yes, sir, we'll do it. We want to become that yes man or yes woman for everyone around there. See, saying yes looks nice. It feels helpful. It feels that I care. It feels that I'm available. But till when? Till when are you going to say that yes? Somewhere we need to start saying a no. No with respect. No with creating those proper boundaries. Right? It is important to say that no. And I don't think you should have that guilt that I have said a no to anyone. Right? It is important to create that boundaries, because boundaries are not rude. They are important. They are necessary. To get burned out, how and where are you going to be placed? To help others, right? So first, it is important for you to take care of your own self. Okay, so you need to drop that burnout. I have also spoken for my post, which is there, which will be coming on LinkedIn tomorrow, where you need to start prioritizing your work. You need to start saying no. I'm not saying ki sabko no bolo, but at least that one small task which you can afford to say a no. Right? Because as I said, you need to pause. You can't be running like a machine. We are human beings. You're not machine. Right? we have a lot of ambitions, we have, and especially the young professionals, I would say, I see them in the working space. They are like Monday to Friday, they are like subah se sham, they'll be there on their work, they'll be there, and Saturday, Sunday, they will be out either, which is a good thing. But again, you can't make this as a practice, right? To just break free for weekends. And nowadays, since we are into, most of them are into hybrid model, no, most of them are into work from home. There is no such thing as 9 to 5, or there is no such thing as 8 hours or 10 hours of working. It's 24/7. Right? One of the reason I had quit my job was the same, because in spite of being in HR, it was expected that I would be available even in the evenings, even in the night. So with kids and small kids and all, it was not possible, right? So prioritize those boundaries, right? You can't allow people to cross those boundaries, because those boundaries are necessary for you and for them also, right?
I think that's what obedience and discipline, probably, and understanding the difference between both, and then following it where what is needed where is really very important.
Right.
So with that, I was just coming up with the last topic, that was inner alignment. What we started with that, and then probably inner alignment is something which is carry forward to in the success definition, in the boundaries, setting boundaries. So now when we really talk about the inner alignment, how do you see, like, how can really someone know whether they are truly growing in the right direction? How do they define that this is the right direction, rather than simply following society's definition?
Now, the word inner alignment itself talks about aligning your inner self, right? I have to ask you, when do you feel that you're on the wrong path?
When will that be the wrong path?
Path.
When I'll not feel, because I definitely follow the feeling has to be aligned probably with what I'm thinking or taking an action. So yes, feeling is something which is driving or maybe factor for me. Am I really feeling right to do that, or going right direction? Absolutely. Intuition we call it, or whatever we call it.
Right. Yeah. So I would say, when you are on wrong path, when you start self-doubting your work, when you start feeling drained, like every day, if you start, like we say, right, when you wake up and if not happy to go to your workplace, you don't enjoy, right? And I think somewhere down the line, that is very true. Probably, and nowadays we relate to it a lot, because if you're feeling drained to go to a place which you have to be there for 9 hours, and you have to show your creativity, you have to show your skills. If you are not aligned to be there, probably, I think that's not the place for you. And when you start self-doubting yourself, and I think self-doubt is the first step towards everything what we spoke today.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Your burnouts, your boundaries, losing out boundaries, everything. Right? Yes. So it is important to if you want to get onto a right path, first be self-aware, and anything what you do. So if you are aware of your own self, aware of your inner alignment, your values, what really matters to you, I think kitna bhi challenging work ho, right? You are ready to do. It's meaningful for you. Right, you can work 10 to 12 hours a day. No one is like, and that too with the same energy, right? And if you're on the wrong path, if you self-doubt, even if you work for 1 hour, you will feel, oh, I'm drained out for the day, right? So you need to first align your own values. Is this thing really important, or is this thing that really matters to me? Yes, then yes, I'll be there. You need to ask yourself, am I doing this out of fear or out of choice? If it is out of fear, then I don't think you are at the right place. But if it is out of your pleasure, if it is out of your passion, if it is out of your choice, then you are all set to grow on that space. Right? You also need to ask yourself, this move which I'm taking today towards my growth, is it getting me close to what I really want to become, or is it taking me away? So where I would say everything circles down to what really matters to you. Everything circles down to moving into the right direction rather than moving into the forward direction. Right? It may take time. Right? So there are I have seen somewhere that people have taken a break, which is absolutely fine. People think that if I take a break, I'll lose out on from the industry. That fear, that FOMO
Yeah.
also sets in.
Yeah.
But see, it will definitely, and you lose out, and especially now things are going so fast in the industry, you will lose out. But again, that should be your choice. That I have taken this choice of not following the rat race, right? I have to first be aware of myself. I have to value what really matters to me and then work towards it. Right? So that's how I think creating those boundaries for self also. Right? दूसरों के लिए तो बनाना है, but even for self, creating those boundaries for your own self is also important. Right? So yes,
I
circling
agree.
down.
It's like how in the companies, I always tell you that how in the organizations there is a goal, and then we all follow certain goal, and then
True.
how the goal has been precisely communicated till the team levels. Now the same thing you have to do it on your own. Everything you are only there. Let it be the
Yes,
CEO,
yes,
let it
yes.
be the executor, let it be
Yes,
the
yes.
manager, and things like that.
Absolutely.
So how
Absolutely.
well we have, or you have a clarity in the goal, what you really want to do it in this life, and is it really aligned with the values? So when we talk about even the ikigai, right? So now the
Yeah.
fear of judgments, because
Yes.
people will have different KPIs, different parameters to measure it. What parameters you have set, that how do you want to see and how do you want to be perceived? So yeah, I definitely agree. Those are the factors which definitely
Yeah,
matter.
so
So
it is
when we
important. Yeah, it's important for you to know what you are and what you want to become.
yes,
So we generally in our coaching say that what you live and what you want to be unlived, what you want to have as an unlived life,
yeah,
right? What you really want to achieve 2 years down the line, 5 years. So when you're setting up your goals, those goals also we speak about SMART goals, right? That's not just a theory; it's actually a fact.
yeah.
And if you really take those things, take that SMART goal into mind, probably I think your goal setting would be much more easier.
Yeah. And one more point, here, one especially in this era, understanding that it's not necessarily there's nothing wrong if you have done an maybe biology or engineering or things like that, but now you're diverting to the other topic because based on what it is aligning with you, there's no harm to reroute to the direction what your inner peace gives and tells, right? So
I
even
think
in Three Idiots, if we really see at the end of the day, he became.
I am an example of that.
Correct.
I have done my engineering and then moved on to MBA, and then now I'm doing training and coaching, which is completely different. So my younger daughter keeps on, Mama, what exactly have you done? What exactly are you doing? So so it was like I simply tell, first it was my parents' choice, and now it's my choice. I'm living what I like.
And
now.
it's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
KFC was started at 94. I'm just putting up
true.
So it's not like that. So whomsoever is even if the young professionals, even if you have done and electronics, but you realize now that no, probably that is not something cup of your tea. You have some other passion. You have still it is the right time. Still you are not late to go in
the moment you decide to do it, that's the right time for you.
Decision is more important than lingering it, not taking any decision. So that is
any decision which you take should be your decision and not imposed by anyone else. And the moment you decide, that is the right time. Don't wait for the right time. There is no such thing as right time.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I think it was really a very good conversation. So one last, if you really would like to give one message, because we discussed on so many points, that someone succeeding on the outside but struggling on inside, that was probably the overall crux for this one. What is that? Would be only one thing which you would like to probably put across.
So again, I would really reiterate this same thing which I started with, where success should be aligned to what you are and what you really value, rather than just chasing those titles, rather than just chasing those salary or recognition. I won't say those are not important. Of course, they are important, but somewhere that alignment, that inner alignment, is very important by creating those boundaries for self and for others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And from my side, I just want to put across: spend time on self-awareness. It
Absolutely. I
looks,
think
it's
that's
really looks very one, oh, self-aware, I'm aware. It's not like that.
uh,
It really goes deep. It has a very deeper aspects to understand. So better to spend more time on self-aware, self-awareness. Fear of, everybody fears for something, right? Somebody will fear for
absolutely.
something and all, but just let it not contradict with the values what we have. So and whatever field you take, it really doesn't matter, as long as you are fully aligned and able to do it, execute it till end what you have planned for. It was
Absolutely.
really very
Absolutely.
nice talking to
Great.
you, Miss Neelima,
Thank you.
and
Thank
thank you so much
you.
for your time. I really
Thank you.
appreciate, and
Thanks
I'm
for
sure
having me.
viewers also will take the advantage. They will understand what is really which they have to do it. Now, if they want to, really connect with you or get some more help from you, they can connect to you through LinkedIn profile.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They can.
okay.